of April 2021.
And this week, PPP has determined that there will be no articles.
Well, there's some real fucking shit this week. It's a real
There
tough
will
week.
be no articles.
Real
this
tough
week.
week in Canada for us there. We're going to get into it, but I wanted to touch briefly. You know, Ben
I think he's
Askren
full of
got
shit.
raped.
I think there will be articles.
Ben Askren got raped by Jake Paul. He got felted like a fucking bum, folded like a cheap piece of office furniture, like a fucking.
I thought
bitch.
Ben would at least last until round 5, so I bet the late rounds for Jake Paul. But Ben was just a bum.
But I bet Jake rounds 1 to 4, buddy.
You know.
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
off there, pal.
Jake,
There,
the Paul
fucking
squad.
pal.
It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. Jake Paul, it is a white boy summer officially now that Jake Paul won. It's a fucking fresh white boy summer, you know.
Oh,
Jake gang. Are you a Jake Pauler, bro?
yeah, buddy, I'm behind Jake Paul for sure.
Jake Paulers rise up, bro. Or are you more with the low gang, bro?
No. Like, I'm behind Jake Paul. Like, I'm not, like, fucking.
You think Logan Paul's gonna knock out Floyd?
I think the guy's got promise what he's doing. Like, he's had like 3 big knockouts in a row. I think the guy's got promise. His brother, Logan Paul, not so much. But I mean, Jake fucking has some promise for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather next. I'm telling you guys.
Really? You think that's the next fight?
I don't know. It's supposed to be Logan and Floyd. We're supposed to fight in February. It got delayed to have a crowd or something like that. So we'll see. All right, that's it for the fucking music here.
You're gonna stop the song early, buddy?
Yes, buddy, because we're gonna get into what's going on in Canada this week. Beyond the fucking felting of Ben
Well, you know, I
Askren.
was just embracing the escapism of the song, buddy.
The escapism of the song.
Compared to what is going on in Canada this week. Because it's pretty fucking grim.
It's hot. It's time.
You know, it's pretty fucking grim, buddy.
For the police state, it's time.
It's a tough fucking go here in Ontario.
The authoritarianism being locked down. So we're starting off.
It's a tough time.
We're starting off with the first article this week. Ontario implements police checks and travel ban and latest spat of COVID rules. Doug Ford introduced new strict COVID-19 restrictions on Friday, which include a ban on non-essential interprovincial travel and new powers for law enforcement to stop and question people who are outside of their place of residence.
Which I mean is pretty fucked. Like I'm not 100% like opposed to the interprovincial fucking them having enforcement. You know, but like the cops can just stop you and fucking demand what you're doing and your address, and you legally have to give it to them now. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's tough there, buddy. You know, big box stores had their indoor shopping capacity reduced to 25%. Churches are only allowed to have 10 people in. The stay-at-home order has been extended an additional 2 weeks. So now you got to stay at home for 6 weeks. But the big takeaway is that the police are now able to stop you on the street for no reason and ask you what you're doing. And if they don't like the answer, they can give you an $880 ticket. So that's the state of things. The police can just stop you for no reason, whether you're walking on the street, driving. They need no probable cause anymore. So I'm going to show you guys a couple pertinent clips really the fucking most depraved segments of this press conference, where it just gets really fucking bad. So we're gonna have a look at a couple of these clips here, guys. It's pretty shitty.
In all of North America. In the difficult, we've implemented the strictest measures in all of North America.
Well, then why do we have the highest case count, Doug? Do you think that might be tied to that we've implemented the strictest measures, you fucking Doug idiot? You know, like, this guy is Doug. Like, this is Doug.
In their lives. But we have never shied away from doing what's necessary.
We have made the deliberate decision to temporarily enhance police officers' authority for the duration of the stay-at-home order. Moving forward, police will have the authority to require any individual who is not in a place of residence to, first, provide their purpose for not being at home and provide their home address. Police will also have the authority to stop a vehicle.
You know, like, this sort of woman, like... This woman thinks that she should have her fucking tentacles into every one of her citizens. This is the Solicitor General of Ontario. And she thinks that she should have her tentacles in every one of the citizens of Ontario. Fucking lives. Like, their personal lives. Like, how they live to a fucking T. You know, and, like, this is the sort of politician that, like, we joke about fucking strangling other politicians on the front lawn of Parliament, you know? But, like, this is the sort of politician here where you sort of got to question these things. You know, it's... you know, you listen to her, you know? And she just wants to have her fucking tentacles into your fucking life and control you. And you just got to start to question it, you know? I don't know.
Anyway, this particular politician, the Solicitor General of Ontario, it's just very chilling, just the way she's matter-of-factly explaining to you that you just don't have rights anymore. The police can just do whatever the fuck they want to you. You know, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is basically suspended. They've been able to supersede the Charter of Rights and Freedom.
Chad Warden, I have seen the leaks. I have. I sent them to my fucking mom, and she was all freaked out.
Inquire about an individual's reason for leaving their residence.
And our inspectors will also be ensuring...
Anyway, I'll show you the fucking other clip here with this woman where it's just fucking crazy, folks.
I don't know, like, most of the things I think about this woman, like, I probably shouldn't say on camera, you know, like...
Maybe not, buddy.
I'm not one to hold back.
It's become
buddy,
this
like,
week
I'm
in
not
Fed
one
posting.
To hold back what I say.
This week
but,
in
like,
Fed posting from
you know
Surfer.
what I mean? Like this woman, you know, like, this woman, oh, fuck. You know, like, the shit I joke about, like, I really mean about this woman.
All right, hold on. Here, we gotta get this clip in, buddy. We gotta get this clip in.
So by issuing these new additional enforcement measures, it allows police officers to ask the person why they are not at their place of residence and what their place of residence is. And specifically to your question, if you are not willing to comply, then you are breaking the law. And there is an option for the police officer to issue a ticket. Thank you. Follow up?
How much is the ticket? And also, if someone sees their neighbors breaking these new regulations and having a party in their yard, that sort of thing, should people call police on their neighbors?
So in terms of the ticket cost, that of course is set by the Chief Justice. Currently, if you break an order under the EMCPA, then it is $750, as I understand it. In terms of people calling to snitch, to inform, look, we all have a personal responsibility, and I would hope that the vast majority of us would take that personal responsibility seriously.
So when it comes to snitching on your fellow citizens, she literally uses the word snitching. We all have a personal responsibility.
No, I wonder
to
why
snitch.
they've spent the last fucking 20 years importing so many brown people and dividing up the communities. You know? I wonder why. I fucking wonder. It seems to be all coming together now.
Yeah,
You know, like,
so it's just keep the population played against each other in constant fear, have them snitching on each other, and she's just outright encouraging people to snitch. I mean, this woman here is the face of authoritarian tyranny in 2021. I mean, at least the fascists of previous times, or, you know, authoritarians, would actually, like, be men, you know, that would wear, like, a military uniform and would be badass and cool. But here we're just getting dominated by a middle-aged fucking woman who basically looks like a fucking school administrator or human resources cunt. And this human resources cunt gets to tell the rest of us how we're going to fucking live our lives and tell the rest of us that we need to snitch on our fellow citizens so that she can have complete power over us and fucking get CERB checks back, you know, $750 at a time. Oh, we got half a CERB back, bro. Oh boy, we're fucking getting these welfare checks that we're forcing people to fucking take because we won't let them go to fucking work. We got to get those back. The economy's collapsed. Oh, but
I don't know. Like, we joke about fucking strangling Justo to death on the front lawn of Parliament, for example. But, like, this
it's
woman,
over.
like, actually, like, beyond the satire, like, this woman really grinds.
Somebody's
my
like,
fucking
we're
gears.
past complaining. This
you
week,
know, like, I don't
week,
even know what to say. You know, but, like, something needs to be done.
Well, this week,
you know, like,
I watched The Pianist.
It's,
This week I watched The Pianist, which is about the Holocaust, and I realized that this week I was living in The Pianist, that this was my own personal Holocaust for me, and that you know, it's like in The Pianist.
I am the 6 million.
I am being holocausted.
I am
every day. I'm crying
million.
out. I'm crying out. I'm like in The Pianist. I'm gonna be like fucking starved to like 90 pounds with jaundice, crawling through like the bombed out fucking ruins of Canada. But some fucking social justice warrior will think I have a sexy singing voice and I'll be saved like the fucking Pianist. And they'll bring me fucking wheels of bread or cheese or something. I don't fucking know, but it's a pretty big nightmare there. It feels like the scenes in The Pianist where they're like getting updates on the radio about how Jews are going to have to wear stars now and that Jews won't be tolerated in schools. The announcements just keep coming in. And it's like, well, it can't possibly get worse. We'll never comply with this. That's what they'd say, and they're complaining. And then the next scene, it just goes to them complying with it. That's how it feels. So I now am the Jew. The Holocaust isn't for just Jews anymore.
Are you a Jew, buddy?
It's been extended to everyone now.
Are you a Jew,
We're all
buddy?
living in the medical tyranny police state. What is this, Nazi Germany? I wish it was, but it's not. It's just this fucking feckless soccer mom Karen 40-year-old cunt. This is the new Hitler.
And you know, someone said something about, like...
It's tough.
Someone said something about Justo legalizing weed. And, like, watching this stuff, do you wonder why Justo legalized weed?
Well, I need the weed. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it unless I have a fucking cigarette and a fucking bunch of weed.
You know, like, if you really put two and two
And a
together,
beer.
like, watching the
I'm
sort
not
of
making
thing that's
it.
happening now,
I need to
like,
just divorce myself
it
from
really
reality
makes
with
a lot
drugs.
of sense that Justo legalized weed about 1.5 years ago or so. You know?
It's over.
It really makes a lot of fucking sense.
It's over.
Dumb fucking
I'm
cunts.
using the lockdown restrictions as a coping mechanism for why I need to abuse drugs. And it's based. So anyway, that's the fucking opening salvo that's pretty depressing there. on the state of Ontario. Basically, it's like total police state. Now, what's interesting is if you go to the Government of Canada website and you go to look up the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, you can see it no longer exists. So they've removed the charter.
No!
They've removed
they
the charter.
Actually
Yeah, they
do that.
did. They removed.
No,
they
buddy.
removed the
No,
charter.
Try again, please. Try again.
There is.
We are sorry. We couldn't find the page you were looking for.
So we're sorry, but you don't have freedoms anymore.
It says sometimes a page gets moved or deleted.
They've deleted the fucking Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
That's pretty intense. Like,
It's,
that's pretty fucking intense.
Canada.ca/en/system/laws.html.
You know,
Check
like,
it out
that's
for
not
yourself.
Even like, that's not even like it's a joke website. Like, that's the actual Government of Canada.
Is anyone
website.
feeling scared yet? Are you feeling a little bit weirded out that they took the Constitution away the day after? And it's been like this all day. It's been like this since the morning. I said, oh, by the time the show comes around, surely they'll have fixed it. Surely they'll have restored the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to being on the website. But no, it's gone. It's gone. It's not coming back.
There will be no more rights and freedoms in Canada, buddy. It's a grim fucking time.
Oh, and the Royal Bank of Canada is down 64% in after-hours trading.
Well, they're pulling the rug.
It's over. The economy is going to be collapsed by next week. And the charter is gone. Yeah, it's fucking based there, guys. Some good shit. That still just blows my mind, though, right? Like, that's crazy. You go to the page. Oh, we're sorry. It's down.
It's just too much, you know? Like, I don't know, like.
Well, some people have had a fucking enough. The people in Quebec have had enough. Now, what's happened in Quebec is they implemented a curfew, which means you can't be outside after 9:30 at night. And they were having to live under this. They hated it. But the government said, no, you need to, bedtime is 8 o'clock now. Curfew is at 8 p.m. So French people were being forced to not leave their homes after 8 p.m. So in Montreal, they were angry. So we're going to show you guys what happened. There was a big protest in Montreal. Some people have had enough. Let's see what the ad is. It's a lotto ad.
49 feeling.
Get that 649 feeling. Get that 1984 feeling. Oh, that was some low-hanging fruit there. Some easy shit there. 1984 reference.
It's a bunch of fucking Jews, buddy.
Hundreds of young demonstrators wreaked havoc in Montreal's famous Old Port. Witnesses who watched the events at a distance say things quickly went awry.
There were fireworks, cars revving their engine. There were people on big microphones screaming "La Liberté."
Online video shows protesters lighting fires in dozens of trash cans and shattering multiple storefront windows. Tear gas and riot police were needed to disperse the crowds. Police say hundreds of tickets were issued and several demonstrators were arrested. With the dust settled early Monday morning, merchants were out assessing the damage. For this
The merchants were assessing the damage.
Vandalism adds insult to injury.
Like I said, it's just two windows. Those are easily repairable, but it's all this food that's going to go to waste now. I mean, it's hundreds of dollars of food that's just in the garbage.
City work crews were out in full force, removing scattered trash, cleaning and replacing charred remnants. Montreal's mayor openly condemned the riot, calling it unjustified.
It is not acceptable. People are allowed to protest. It's their right. Do it right. Don't attack people that are already suffering, that are dealing with the COVID, just
like this is the mayor of Montreal. This is the person in charge of Montreal. You wonder why they're rioting. You know, honestly, they ought to have burned the whole fucking city to the ground. Just said, fuck it. I mean, that wasn't even like a Category 2 chimp out. Like, holy fuck. You know, it wasn't even anything like what the black
like,
people
it's
are
the same
doing.
problem here.
It's
where
time
we
to
live.
burn it all
We have
down,
some
dogs.
dumb cunt whore that fucking runs the city.
I don't know, man.
You know, it's just a joke.
The ChimpCon levels weren't fucking getting very high in this fucking frog out or whatever the fuck it is.
They are.
While some residents disapprove of the curfew, all say violent protest is not the appropriate reaction.
In this case, this was just pure acts of violence, and it's my neighborhood, so I'm really concerned about it.
I bet you're
Montreal
concerned.
police say their investigation into Sunday's events is ongoing. Officers will be looking over surveillance footage in efforts to identify protesters allegedly involved in a reported dozens of acts of arson, vandalism, and mischief. Braden Jagger-Haynes, Global News, Montreal.
So basically, we're on total police state lockdown. We're now having riots in the streets.
Well, in fucking Quebec.
Yeah, but there's protests all over Ontario today. There were lockdown protests in Barrie and in Niagara Falls, where Maxime Bernier was. There was a rally in Toronto that I think had 700-800 people at the rally in Toronto. So there's been some protests, some rallies, that sort of thing.
The one here, when is that, tomorrow?
No, that was today. I think about 20 people showed up. So we are in Peterborough.
No.
I think it was 20 people showed up and all got $800 tickets.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they all just got spanked with $800 tickets.
No.
All 20 of them. So some news here in Peterborough, which I don't have the articles for, but maybe I'll show them. There was a barber here in town. I think his name was Alex Masters. He opened a barber shop, Alex Masters did.
He got murked, but then he ended up just
they broke him.
A faggot.
They broke his will.
And then he cucked out like a faggot.
They closed his business a number of times and gave him tickets, and he kept coming back. So what the police did is at 4 a.m, they drove to Alex's barber shop, and they boarded up his barber shop and changed the locks and told him to go get fucked. And then he realized how fucked he was. They were going to fine him like $5,000 a day. They were going to try to fine him like $50,000. So then what Alex did was he got on his knees and he said, "The police are wonderful. I love the police. They've done such a great job." And they basically made him say that he loved Big Brother. So they broke his mind. And then the police opened their own barber shop only for police to get their hair cut. So you can look this up. Type in Peterborough Police Barber Shop pop-up. The police got their own barber shop where they could get their hair cut, but the average citizen in the city and province isn't allowed to get their hair cut. And I'm not making this shit up. Like, I'm not making it up. You can fucking look it up. Alex Masters or whatever his name is, barbershop. Peterborough Police Barbershop pop-up. This is real. This is what's going on. But there are so many fucking stories this week that I didn't have time. We're just not going to have time to pull it up and examine it in great detail. But it's pretty fucking crazy. So yeah, there were the riots in Montreal. They burned a bunch of shit down. But because of a lot of the backlash, Premier Ford has reversed his decision to close the Ontario playgrounds. That's right, Doug Ford was closing the playgrounds in Ontario. He also closed camping. So camping is something you're not allowed to do in Ontario anymore. You're not allowed to camp, even though you're out in the wilderness, way away from anybody else. But you are not allowed to camp anywhere in Ontario. But, you close the playgrounds. A bunch of soccer moms cried.
COVID-19 cases rising quickly and forecasts that
Fuck
infections
it.
could top 30.
Fuck this video. It says the Ontario government has reversed its decision to close playgrounds after the ban was widely criticized, with one Toronto disease doctor calling the closure of spaces the wrong move in the fight against COVID. Our regulations will be amended to allow playgrounds, but gatherings outside will still be enforced. So they banned outdoor gatherings. even though there's like no evidence really that I think COVID doesn't transmit outdoors. It's very, very hard for it to transmit outdoors. But they've banned any and all outdoor gatherings by anyone outside of your household.
Well, you know, we've got pretty intense regulations here, buddy. So we've got a lot of cases.
But Doug says that...
and because of that, we need more intense regulations,
Doug
buddy.
says masks will be required for playgrounds. Parents, keep your distance and wear masks if you can. So if the children are going to play in the playground, they need to be wearing a mask. You see, they need to be degraded and humiliated. See, the mask is a constant symbol of that this is going on. If you didn't have to wear the mask every day, you would ask yourself, is there really even a pandemic going on? But it reminds you each day as you put on the ritual of the mask that yes, you're on.
It's just nonsense.
You're on COVID forever.
It's child abuse.
But it's based.
Mask on children.
It's based now. Honestly, the government is incredible. We love the Canadian government. I think it's amazing that they treat us like animals.
Put a mask on your child, you should hit them in the mouth.
No, you should just submit to them. You may as well let Premier Ford diddle your child at this point, because any defiance of the government will not be tolerated. The government has a right to do whatever it wants to your children and to you, because it is your government, and the government is your God in this country. It's based. The closure of outdoor spaces, including playgrounds, golf courses, and basketball courts, was part of the new restrictions announced Friday. So here, people were playing basketball at the park, so they took away the hoops. One day, the police just came and removed the hoop off the fucking the pole. So now there's just no hoop.
No.
Yeah, they just straight up
in the black neighborhood, buddy.
Yeah.
They go into the black neighborhood.
No, they went into
take the basketball.
They went to the Bethune Street. They went to the Bethune Street court and they took the fucking hoops. And then there's like a sign up that says Peterborough police have seized the hoops. Everybody must disperse from this area. This is what the police are wasting their time doing, is stealing the basketball.
That's pretty jokes, in all fairness. In all fairness, that's pretty fucking
wouldn't you
jokes.
just steal the hoop if you were a cop? Damn kids. I'm surprised they haven't passed a law that allows them to just take people's skateboards. Hey, buddy, you're skateboarding. I can take that away because COVID.
At what point do you hit the cop with your skateboard?
Never.
If you got
this is a non-violent show.
If you got a solid strike in on the cop with the fucking trucks to your skateboard, you could probably walk away free.
But look,
you know,
Surfer, how happy are you?
Honesty, but you need to get that solid fucking shot. If you don't, you're getting fucked.
Look.
You know?
Sure, it might be that the police can stop you and detain you for any reason and issue you a ticket for completely arbitrary reasons for an amount of money that might make you homeless.
Not me.
If you're fucking in the working class.
Just say no.
Well, that's what they said at the protest today. The Peterborough people, they said no, and they got tickets still.
They fucked up. You just got to say you're a sovereign citizen and you're traveling.
You're traveling. But how happy are you that Doug has reversed his decision and he's opened playground Surfer? This is a big concession, isn't it? The children will be allowed to play on playgrounds. I think we should thank the government for allowing the children the privilege of playing.
Buddy, if we still lived on Bethune, I'd be pretty
Shouldn't we give the government a round of applause? Aren't they benevolent and nice? We love them. Yeah. We love them because they let the children play at the park. That's not something that you should be able to expect in a free society. You know, they say it's a free country. It's not really feeling like it anymore.
Razmaz,
you can't even work a job.
Put a fucking mask on your child. Give them a head kick right into their jibs.
Well, what you got to realize, Surfer, is the real risk is that Canada faces growing radicalization because of the COVID-19 lockdowns. That's right. There's extremists that are arising because of these lockdowns. We need to take these extremists out.
You might just get a head kick from Razmat.
We need to fucking be worried about this.
You might just get a head kick from Razmat, buddy.
You want to get head kicked? Is that what it is? I don't know.
Who wants to get head kicked?
Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying you might get a fucking head kick from Razmat.
Holy shit.
If you're fucking around with COVID-19, buddy. If you're trying to fucking be a fucking tyrant with COVID-19, you might just get a head kick from Razmat, buddy.
Now, it started as a protest. The Montreal region's COVID-19 curfew was moved earlier Sunday night from 9:30 p.m. to 8. The crowd stayed out.
There are people on big microphones screaming La Liberté.
So we basically have seen this, but lockdowns put in place to counter COVID-19 could pose a risk of radicalizing Canadians towards violence. As security experts warn, there is a growing risk of terrorism. Surfer, there's a growing risk, Surfer, of terrorism from incels, white supremacists, and anti-authority extremists. We got to worry about the incels there, Surfer. As an incel, let us know how it's going. Is it tough?
I don't know, buddy. I'm not an incel, buddy. I'm a vol cell.
Vol cell?
MGTOW!
MGTOW!
You know?
The MGTOW extremists are gonna fuck. So did you see the latest shooting in America? It was 8 people killed by a brony because he wanted to live with Applejack. And life wasn't fair because he couldn't have sex with Applejack the pony. So we got to really worry about the incels, the white supremacists. You know, don't worry about the lockdown.
Around, tries to steal all your fucking money.
The main...
Tell her, fuck you, bitch. MGTOW!
Right on, duder. So anyway, don't worry about the government taking your freedoms, making it so you can't leave your house. The real thing we got to worry about is the incels that are going to be rising up any day now to take back their fucking chicken tendies and get their state-mandated girlfriend.
No, buddy.
But I mean...
You don't even need a state-mandated girlfriend because they'll just try to take all your fucking money, buddy.
The national...
You just got to tell the state-mandated girlfriend, fuck you, bitch. MGTOW!
The National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians identified the growing threats from violent misogyny and violent hate groups as among the leading threats facing the country today. It's the leading threat, not the virus that's caused everything to be fucked up, not the the lockdowns and the government tyranny. It's violent misogyny. The finding came in a new report.
Violent misogyny?
It's when Gahul punches women in the face.
They're like so ultra masculine that they just don't even care about reproducing with women, but instead they just go around and just beat women to death. They're just ultra masculine that they just walk down the street and just beat women to death.
That's right, buddy. That's what's going on. Buddy.
That's pretty fucking wild, buddy.
It is, buddy.
That's pretty fucking wild.
McGinty said the committee couldn't yet determine whether pandemic isolation and anger will lead to a rise in support for the kind of violent misogyny espoused by incels. But he said the committee did hear in classified briefings over the last year the potential for radicalization during the pandemic is real, and that the terrorism threats facing the country have changed significantly over the last 2 years. In particular, the report cited what is known as ideologically motivated violent extremism, a term that includes xenophobic violence, anti-authority violence, gender-driven violence, and other grievance-driven and ideologically motivated violence. There you go, buddy. There's serious fucking
like
shit.
when you want to take the Solicitor General and strangle her on the front lawn of Parliament, you know,
Well,
and beat her to death with your violent ultra-masculinism, buddy.
The RCMP assesses that the restrictions, including lockdown measures put in place, could result in people looking for advice or information over the internet and accessing extremist echo chambers. That's right, extremist echo chambers. Like this very video. You best believe in extremist echo chambers because you're in one. Okay, this risk is magnified by the challenges of social isolation and financial hardship during restrictions. These same restrictions make it difficult for others to identify individuals who may be on a path to radicalization. You know, I gotta ask something. Like, no fucking shit. No fucking shit. It can lead to radicalization when you take people's jobs away, when you take their church away, when you take them going outside and exercising away, when you force them to wear masks, when you force them to isolate from their family and friends and basically be in solitary confinement, which some people consider torture. You know, the solitary confinement of inmates to be torture. And then you wonder maybe they're going to seek out solutions on the internet and become radicalized. Yeah, no fucking shit. That's what fucking happens when the material conditions become fucked. People become fucked because you fucked it.
You know.
It's not my fault. It has fuck all to do with me. You fucking idiots create this shit. I don't fucking do it. I don't make these fucking people the way they are. Their fucking bullshit makes these people the way they are. That's what's going on. I mean, what can you really fucking say? Wow. People are being radicalized. They're not just being radicalized to the incel community. You know, they're being radicalized on the left into socialism and communism as well. It's the horseshoe. I don't know. People are just getting desperate for solutions. They'll listen to any fucking snake oil bullshit. They're being fucking sold. But there's no hope because we're all just going to get fucked by the Ontario government right up the ass no matter what. So it's over. It's
not
over.
If Razmaz comes in and hits Doug with the head kick.
But wow, I'm so surprised that when you lock people up and treat them like criminals, they might consider radical solutions to that. Maybe they don't want to live that way and they would sooner die. I don't know. But that most people are just going to accept it.
I don't need to leave the house to be happy necessarily. Like me personally, you know, but most people do. You know,
well,
so
welcome to the leading.
I don't know, like it's just gonna get pretty fucked up pretty soon, you know.
No, it's good, bro. Don't worry. It's brighter times ahead. The light is at the end of the tunnel. It's just 6 more weeks to flatten the curve. And then we're all gonna have a great summer once we get enough vaccines in people's arms.
They're not even talking about any curves or like flattening curves. They're just fucking saying there's variants.
But there's the double mutant.
You're about to die, so you need to stay in your house and lock yourself in your room.
Don't worry. Once we all get vaccinated, I'm sure it's all going to go back to normal. The new normal where everything is fucked up. You think you're going to be able to take the mask off when you get the vaccine? No. You have to keep wearing it. You know, you think that you'll be able to fucking go and do things when you get the vaccine? No, you won't. You won't even be allowed to go to work because it's still dangerous.
Anyone in chat, like
you're just going to get shafted.
And do a lot of proportionality and don't get the
what's
fucking
going to
vaccine.
happen is you're going to be allowed to do shit when you get vaccinated for like a month or two. And then we're going to hear about the double, triple mutant version from India. Like we're hearing about the double mutant version in India. That's going to come here and then it's like, oh, the vaccine is helpless before the double mutant version. So sorry, we're starting all over again. and we just can't fucking open up, so you're fucked. And we're keeping all these emergency powers because the emergency never ends. That's basically what's happening. It's very scary. It basically feels like you're in a fucking dystopian novel. It feels like I'm in Harry Potter, guys. It's feeling like I'm in Harry Potter.
Buddy?
I'm in Dumbledore's army right now, guys. I'm Katniss Everdeen.
Buddy, are you Harry Potter or are you Ron Weasley?
I'm Katniss Everdeen, buddy.
Are you Ron Weasley,
I'm a strong, independent Katniss Everdeen that wins the Hunger Games,
what do you think,
bitch?
Chat? Is PvP fucking 1 for Harry Potter? Or 2
I got a fucking
Ron
Harry
Weasley.
Rod there for you, buddy.
Or maybe 3 for
you
Hagrid.
You want the fucking Harry Rod, buddy?
Maybe 3 for Hagrid. I don't know Hagrid's last name. Or I would give it. But 3 for Hagrid.
It's when Dumbledore gave us all the vaccination there, chat. Anyway... Alberta legislature speaker apologizes. We got a contender here.
3 for Hagrid.
Well, it's pretty based, buddy. He's a fucking giant. He's a fucking Chad.
He's a big fella?
Yeah, buddy. It's not like you, the moaning Myrtle of the fucking team there.
No, they said Surfer's Harry, buddy.
The moaning Myrtle of the squad.
Buddy. I'm not even Ron Weasley, buddy. I'm like Harry Potter, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
They cut me on my forehead.
Yeah, you've got the lightning bolt, the SS bolt on your forehead, pal. You're fucking making it happen. Here's the leading contender for fucking King Cuck Canuck of the Week. Alberta legislature speaker apologizes for openly opposing COVID-19 health restrictions. He's apologizing because he was opposing the lockdown. So they've mind broken this man as well.
Idiot. Razmaz would give him a head kick.
To put to the speaker, as you know, Dean, the neutrality.
Imagine Razmaz running up onto the stage and giving him a head kick.
This is Kenny reprimanding.
And seem to be neutral, which is why
imagine Razmaz just going up and
that goes back hundreds of years is for the speaker to avoid taking positions on current and contentious political issues. Because the speaker does have a responsibility to represent the whole House and not a faction of the assembly. So I believe there's a very good reason behind that. It doesn't preclude speakers from exercising their representational role in
Jason Kenney's been letting us down
in advancing constituency.
Well, Jason Kenney never accomplished anything. He just sucks penis. He lost the carbon tax case before the courts.
Well, he was supposed to be the base conservative, and then he just shits the bed at every corner.
So what happened was Nathan Cooper, the Speaker of the House in Alberta, he signed a letter opposing the COVID-19 lockdowns in Alberta, saying that it needed to open up. But because he's the Speaker of the House, he's supposed to maintain neutrality. So Jason Kenney is giving him shit for this. It's kind of fucking retarded because the Speaker isn't a neutral figure. Let's be honest. The Speaker exercises the authority of the governing, majority or minority party. Whatever the government wants to have done, the Speaker is going to facilitate that. He's not a completely unbiased figure, but whatever. The principle of the chair is fundamental to a healthy, functioning democracy, Cooper said. This is what he said about signing it. I deeply regret my actions that may have jeopardized the importance and supremacy of this principle. I apologize to each and every one of you for crossing a line that the Speaker ought not to cross. Here we have another fucking ad for Lotto 649.
Honorable members, I beg your
Here's his apology.
While I make a statement. It was a moment you don't often see inside the House. The Speaker rising to apologize for being too political. In haste,
I engaged on a matter of political discourse that may have raised questions about the impartiality of the chair.
Part of the Speaker's role inside the House is to, in a way, referee the debate. So the logic goes the Speaker should not publicly take sides on pressing public issues. Last week, Nathan Cooper did when he signed a letter opposed to new public health restrictions with 15 other UCP MLAs.
And in my 24 years as a parliamentarian, I cannot ever recall a Speaker having violated that until last week.
Premier Jason Kenney has largely given a free pass to his caucus members, calling the letter a democracy.
You fucking
some choice
faggot.
words about
Long-standing tradition. That goes back.
No, buddy, he's in chat.
Up for the fucking bullshit. You're just gonna shit all over this guy.
You forced him to apologize and bow down.
The issue here is not Nathan Cooper.
She'll tell us.
It really is all 17 MLAs.
NDP leader Rachel Notley doesn't want to get bogged down with questions of impartiality. She says the real issue is the need for the entire government to project the importance of public health orders.
These UCP MLAs are sabotaging Alberta's public health response.
For his part, Speaker Cooper apologized for potentially sabotaging the optics of his impartiality.
I apologize to each and every one of you for crossing a line that the Speaker ought not cross.
And you can expect on
What a broken down man.
He won't be speaking out again. Tom Vernon, Global
He
News.
won't be speaking out again. There we go. That's the story of the fucking Speaker of the House in Alberta, leading candidate right now for King Cuck Canuck Faggot of the Week.
What is his name so I can remember that?
It's fucking Nathan Cooper, buddy.
Nate Cooper.
Well, in other news, the Trudeau Liberals are pushing for an internet law that targets hurtful words against politicians. Right. So this is the thing here is...
they're not going to take it as a joke anymore when you talk about strangling politicians to death.
We need internet laws that target hurtful words against politicians.
It's no longer going to be satire when you talk about beating Justo to death with a bat on the front lawn of Parliament.
Well, we see here, we have seen too many examples of public officials retreating from public service. That's right, there's too many politicians that are, so many great public servants that are politicians who are having to step down and live in the shadows there because of hurtful things that their voters have said.
I don't know. I'd like to know the name of one that I would give a fuck about.
Well, Justin Trudeau's heritage minister has suggested that internet censors should ban mean words against politicians. Stephen Guilbeault often gets into trouble for speaking about his mind about internet censorship. He's in favor. This time, however, he has vehemently argued for a kill switch. A kill switch for when websites are saying hurtful words. This is real. He's saying there should be a kill switch for when websites are saying hurtful words.
Seriously, it says hurtful words.
It's hurtful words, buddy.
It's ridiculous.
You can't be saying things that are mean on the internet anymore, buddy. He says, as a dad and a stepdad to 6 kids, I know more can and should be done to create a safer online environment. It's for the children. It's not for the politicians who don't like being called a faggot or a piece of shit or a crook or a swindler. No. It's for your children. It's for the good of the children that we implement a kill switch. There, yeah. Some good shit.
What a scam, buddy. Like, what are we even talking about?
Well, this is Canada now. This is this week. This is just this week. This is this scam. Week. Despite the seeming vast disapproval that Canadians have for internet censorship, the Trudeau Liberals are set to plow ahead with the legislation. It's being done. I am confident we can get this adopted. The Liberals will discuss the bill further during their convention. So if you want input on this, it's going to cost $499 to have input on this. and attend the event where they're going to discuss this. On top of this, the Liberal government is set to table legislation within the next couple of weeks. So in the next few weeks, this law is being passed. This law is being passed in the next few weeks to implement a kill switch so that they can shut down the PPP channel when I say hurtful words online. It's happening. I'm a political dissident. Guys, we're going to start the Patreon next week. Guys, I didn't need your donations there. I'm clearly being oppressed. They're shutting it down. Oy vey! Oy vey!
Well, maybe Justo's pulling through, buddy, and you shouldn't be so hurtful towards
it. Says, what we're seeing is this dream of this free platform.
So hurtful, buddy.
Listen to this quote, though. What we're seeing is this dream of this free platform where we could have open discussions. Well, that dream, for many, is turning into a nightmare. And people are just deciding to take themselves out of the public debate because the conditions under which we're asking them to participate simply aren't sustainable. So, you know, if you can't handle the conversation because you're a pussy-ass bitch, the government's just going to shut down the conversation and make it so that you can have your own fucking hug box online where you're never challenged. Because having a free platform where we had open discussions, that was a nightmare. Having a kill switch for websites where we can shut it down and censor anybody who says mean words, literally, is what they're saying. That's good. That's a dream. That's not the nightmare. That's the dream. Oh, fuck. So that's that story.
Bay Ray, no, I am gonna cut my hair one of these days. You know, I'm gonna fucking do her a number one on top, and then I'm gonna shave her bald on the sides and the back.
Well,
one of these fucking days.
Look, buddy, but what we gotta worry about is in the next election, we have to worry about all the racists that are gonna disrupt the election and cost Justo the election. Because Trudeau has warned that racist groups will disrupt the next Canadian election.
Wrong. I'm not going to vote in the next election, buddy. Like, I'm
racist groups will disrupt the next election. This is the new Russiagate. It's like, the racists.
Buddy. I'm not even going to vote.
Trudeau Minister Dominic LeBlanc warned Canadians yesterday that the next federal election will be disrupted by groups espousing racism and hatred. So when Justo loses, this is the cope, and then he can just say that he gets a recount because it was hatred and he won anyway. By the next general election in Canada, I think we just should assume the threat environment and the threat context have increased since our last election. The minister did not explain why this was the case, nor did he provide any examples of these racist groups. It is how it is, dog. There's no examples of any racist groups. I have no idea how this could happen. But trust me, it's happening. The threat is real. Racists are going to rig the election for Maxime Bernier or Aaron O'Toole. Because as we all know,
why would
racists really support O'Toole, the Tool, and Maxime, the faggot Frenchman. Yes. I'm sure every racist is just running out to support the frog and the cock as they continue to blunder their way to fucking endless failure.
I don't know. It's just a scam, buddy. Like, I'm not going to be voting for O'Toole, and I'm not going to be voting for Bernier. Like, I'm not even going to vote.
After the 2019 election...
Why would I vote? It's a fucking scam.
I'm going to vote.
Are you, buddy?
I'm voting NDP. And I encourage everybody to vote for Jagmeet Singh and vote for the NDP for a brighter, more progressive future for this country. I think it's time that the divisive politics of hatred and racial supremacy be put aside and that all Canadians unite behind their collective class interests to ensure a fairer and more equitable society for all. So I think genuinely that you should vote for the New Democratic Party because Justo is just not doing enough. He's not made it progressive enough, pal. Don't you? I love the progress that's happening right now. It's just, do you know what they said? Do you know what somebody on Twitter said? Because they're saying that this isn't freedom, right? He said, no, this is ordered freedom. He said, this is ordered liberty. It's just a different form of liberty we have now. See, before, we had the liberty to do what we want. But now we have the liberty to do as the government tells us. And that's ordered liberty. And the cope they wrote in the newspaper was that it's a Quebecois tradition to have ordered liberty. Well, maybe the Quebecois can fuck back off to France or wherever the hell they come from.
But like, they're not even content over
It's
there.
ordered freedom. It's ordered liberty. It makes sense. Just trust us. This is straight up like 2 + 2 is 5, like double think shit. It's ordered liberty. You have the freedom to do as we say. So you have freedom. This is the shit that I'm fucking reading. Like, holy fuck. Oh, shit. So that's it. The racists are going to interfere in the next election. We're going to move on.
When is the next election? 2023?
Yeah.
Why are they talking about that?
Well, because Justin's talking about calling a snap election so he can get another majority. Because, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, well, he's been thinking about doing that.
He's going to do that?
Oh, he might do it if he has a high enough approval rating. I mean, I think he'll call a snap election like when everybody gets vaccinated and there's like the month or two of freedom. And everybody will be like, Justo led us through the pandemic to the other side. And then they'll give him 5 more years and then he'll just laugh in their fucking faces as he just takes everything away the next day. Well, it's not the only apology of the week. We have another apology this week. Trudeau is to formally apologize to Italian Canadians for their treatment during World War II. That's right. We are apologizing to Italians over their treatment during World War II. This is what...
based, I guess. I don't know. What do I say about that?
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to issue a formal apology to Italian Canadians next month. According to a news release from the government, some 600 Italians were held in internment camps during the Second World War, while another 31,000 were declared enemy aliens under the leadership of Liberal Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King. The government was also given the ability to seize the property of Italian Canadians and limit their activities. Now, mind you, this all happened while we were at war with Italy, because Italy was supporting the Nazis and they were fascists. But we're going to apologize to descendants of the state that was fascist at that time. I'm not really grasping it. I guess these 600 people were in internment camps. Their liberties were taken away. But I mean, right now, we're putting Canadians into COVID quarantine concentration camps and taking away Canadians' liberties. Maybe we should get an apology before these Italians, maybe. I'm just saying, maybe I should get an apology for being treated like a prisoner. Maybe. But no, that's not what's...
like, I've never even heard of this in my life. Like, no, I've met a lot of Italian people.
It's not a widespread
thing. One of them have ever
thing.
expressed to me any fucking sort of discontent over something like this.
While such measures were implemented in order to prevent espionage, not a single foreigner or immigrant targeted by such measures was ever charged with a crime in Canada during World War II. Maybe the reason that not a single one of them was charged with a crime is because they were in an internment camp where they couldn't commit sabotage and crimes. Maybe if we hadn't interned these 600 people, maybe there would have been acts of sabotage and crimes. But since they were safely interned away as potential allies of the enemy, that nothing happened. Have we ever considered that? No, because we always have to be wrong.
Too much sense.
We always have to be evil and wrong. We always, hey, Tony, this Holocaust is not making much sense, Tony. Hey, Tony, what's going on? Like, we're apologizing to those people? Really? We're apologizing to the fascists now? Based. Woo! Like, what is going on?
Justo!
Anyway, Trudeau declared that Canada will right these wrongs by issuing a formal apology next month. The government had previously offered an official apology to Japanese Canadians, offering the community $300 million in compensation for their treatment during the war. 22,000 Japanese Canadians were detained in camps compared to 600 Italians. So that's the news. Justo is apologizing to Italians today. Holy fuck. It's just like a parody. Like, oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, Italians, buddy, are pretty based, buddy. They make tomato sauce in their backyard.
Are you ready to see the new Team
Canada? And they
Canada?
make their own fucking noodles, too.
Chat, are you ready?
Italians are really good at making noodles. They fucking
Are you
press
ready?
them.
Are you ready to see the new Olympic Team Canada apparel? This is the new Olympic uniforms for Team Canada. Here they are.
Why are these stupid fucking cunts wearing them, buddy?
These are our Olympians. These are our Olympic athletes. This is what represents Canada on the world stage.
Why are they all women, buddy?
Well, these are well, no, that's a man over there, buddy. The Olympic Games, but make it fashion. So here's the opening ceremony. First impressions are everything.
Why are they all women, buddy?
As Japan welcomes athletes from around the world, Canadians will be showing off their national pride with the maple leaf clearly visible on the back of their jackets. Like, why does the maple leaf on the back of the jackets have to have those red lines through it? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. This shirt looks like fucking shit, too. But here's the podium kit. It's not terrible. But here's the closing ceremony. I just want to show you our Olympic kit. Inspired by streetwear, athletes will be fitted in the must-have piece of the collection, a fashion-forward jacket fitted from Levi's that pays tribute to Tokyo. The trucker jacket's design celebrates inclusivity and gender neutrality while capturing the youthful feeling.
I think Rasmus would head kick that woman in her
It
jibs.
reads almost like a timeline with its graffiti. Look at this jacket.
I think he'd give her a head kick.
Look at it. Look at it.
In those jibs.
This is what we're going to wear at the Olympics in front of the whole world. Just fucking embarrassing. Just fucking embarrassing. All right, so that's the Olympic kit. So it's a pretty big embarrassment. It's a pretty big fail. There's not a whole lot to say, but the jean jacket is gender neutral, and that's really important. It's gender neutral, and it supports inclusiveness.
How is it gender neutral?
Well, look at the jacket.
I don't understand.
Look, it's got like an LGBT flag or something on the left arm. There's like some weird Japanese writing. It says Canada. Like, look at this shit. Like, it looks like some John Moxley fucking shit that he would wear in AEW. Like, oh my God. It's very depressing stuff. Very depressing stuff. But we have a follow-up story to the father who was jailed for...
Do we, buddy?
Yeah.
For
refusing to call his son that was turned into a daughter, or daughter that was turned into a son by the pronouns that they aren't really. The Canadian father and gender dissident who became a prisoner of conscience when he refused to stop speaking out against the transitioning of his child is set for release prior to trial because he has entered a guilty plea in return for a reduced prison sentence. So Robert Hoogland, the father, is charged with criminal contempt of court, but his lawyer has made a plea agreement. So on willfully breaching certain orders of the Supreme Court restricting his speech. He will accept a sentence of 18 months probation with 1 month off to reflect the time he has already spent in custody. So he's on probation for 17 months, where he's going to have to refer to his daughter as his son. I think it's a male to female, or female to male, sorry. So he's having to refer to his daughter as his son, and if he doesn't, then he will lose his probation, and then he'll be thrown in jail for like 2 years instead. The terms of the plea agreement are subject to the discretion of the judge.
I don't know, like, it might be satire. It might be satire, but, like, this is the sort of guy that, like, in this case, like, it's like this guy should legitimately go strangle this woman to death. You know? And,
Yeah.
like, kidnap his son and
so the
fucking,
reason
like,
he pled
save
guilty,
his son from the fucking Satan.
the reason he pled guilty is because
You know, I don't know what to say.
he was going to be sentenced to 5 years if he was found guilty. If he didn't plead guilty, he would have received 5 years in
more
prison.
like Razmas, he would have given the judge a fucking head kick right in his jibs.
Right in the jibs, buddy.
Right in his fucking jibs.
So right now, Hoogland is being held in an individual cell due to COVID protocols. He's not allowed any in-person visits. He is permitted to take exercise for a couple of hours a day. So he's basically in solitary confinement. Hoogland says he misses his dog, and he has received verbal support from the prison staff for doing what he thought was best for his child. Canadian citizens are compelled by force of law to adhere to the belief system of sex denialism, even at the expense of their children's long-term health and fertility. So his child is biologically female but identifies with being a man, was put on the path of taking the sex hormones, testosterone at age 13. When the father learned that this was happening, he tried to stop it, to no avail. He challenged in court the decision to transition his child at 13 years old on the basis a child cannot give informed consent to be sterilized. But the judge instead said that he broken the law by doing that, and so he is getting 18 months probation because of that. He could have got 5 years if he didn't just plead guilty.
What a dystopian hellscape, you know? Like, at some point, you just gotta do something like come out with the head kick.
Well, buddy, I just don't know if the head kick's gonna help at this point.
But, like, at some point, what else
I think
do you
you're
do?
quite fixated on the head kick, buddy.
But at some point, buddy, what else do you do?
Well, you just take it. You take it.
Do you, buddy?
That's all you can do. You can just take it up the ass.
By the opposite
you have to, or you're going to jail.
You do?
You have to, or you're going to jail.
You just come out with
we have the power over you. You will call your child what we say. Or go to prison for 5 years. So in other fucking clownish news, the city of Kelowna announces an outdoor homeless site. So it's an outdoor homeless shelter now. So instead of taking refuge inside, the homeless are now expected to shelter here
on the
side of the road in a fucking gravel pit.
In the dirt.
The homeless are expected to fucking live in this gravel pit. The city of Kelowna is going to open a site near the rail trail to be a temporary outdoor sheltering site for people experiencing homelessness. The location is near downtown on the south side of the rail trail. The city said it will provide portable washrooms, waste receptacles, and sharp containers for discarding needles. So this place is just going to become a filthy, fucking disgusting, like, tent city shithole. in no time at all. You know, they're going to give them portable washrooms and fucking places to dispose of needles. It's just going to become a filthy fucking shithole. The area is going to be monitored by security and video surveillance. Although the site is a temporary solution, permanent features and design elements of the site will be able to remain as landscape enhancements along the river trail once the temporary sheltering site is no longer needed. So people will be allowed to shelter from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. Daily removal of overnight shelters will occur to balance the rights of people experiencing homelessness with those of the broader community to enable continued availability of city land for public use. How much you want to bet that's going to happen, that every day they're going to be cleared out? Who's going to do that? You know, it's going to turn into a tent city real quick, and people are going to cry, you know, at the enforcement of making them leave every day. I guarantee you. But this is the situation.
Where the fuck is Kelowna? Is that BC?
No, that's Alberta, I thought. Kelowna, Alberta? Or is it BC?
No, it's BC, buddy. And fuck BC.
No, buddy.
BC is a fucking shithole.
Yeah, it's
buddy.
British
They
Columbia.
vote between the fucking NDP and the Green Party.
Well, sir, get ready for one of the most exciting stories of the day. Sex partying drywallers fired the contractor, so they're having the drywall orgy.
My buddy does drywall.
Yeah, buddy. So the explicit video shows workers grabbing, fondling, and performing oral sex on a stripper inside an under construction home.
They got Grey Goose.
Yeah, they got Grey Goose. Several drywall installers are out of a job after video surfaced of them drinking and partying with a stripper at a job site earlier this month. The series of videos depict the men drinking and partying with a semi-nude woman inside of a home
like
under
he's
construction.
Grey Goose out of her fucking ass.
Nobody in the video is wearing a mask. The men are seen dancing with the women, grabbing and sucking her breasts, drinking and pouring vodka on her, lying down while she dances on top of them, and performing cunnilingus on her. In response to the Sun's inquiries, a letter from Neymar's attorney said their clients denounced the actions in the video. It doesn't look like they were denouncing it here. It looks like they were...
It certainly doesn't look like...
Why would you need to wear a mask when you're fucking, you know, getting like a gay train going on here? This kind of looks... This looks pretty homosexual.
Like, look at this guy on the end. But, like, look at this hand. And imagine this guy that's out of the picture.
There's like a black guy with his hand on his shoulder outside of the frame. What is going on in Canada with the drywallers there?
My buddy does drywall.
I know your buddy does drywall, buddy. So there we go. We have the drywall orgy that's happened. This is Canada now.
Well, what has come of that? Where was that? What has come of it?
Well, they got fired from their jobs.
Well, they're going to get another job doing drywall. Most people doing drywall are degenerates.
Well, no shit, eh? All right, so now we have a video of a man.
I think someone set them up, to be honest. I think probably the job site set them up to get fucked.
The job
for
site.
For publicity or something.
Bubble-based. Video surfaces of a man in a drive-through vaccine line having a seizure, and then the next man over collapses too.
Yeah, you told me about this earlier today. I'll have to see this video.
Here we have this video here. So this guy gets the vaccine and he gets a fucking seizure.
What a dumb idiot. That's not good. Yeah. Damn.
So I'm not taking that shit.
Oh my god, man.
Now watch, the guy next to him is going to get it and also have a seizure. Watch, watch, watch. Now this guy's gonna get it. Imagine being this guy in the red car. You're watching Buddy over in the other car who's just had a seizure from taking this vaccine. And you're like, you know what? I should let them stick this needle in my arm.
Wow. Oh, she's passing out. Oh my God.
And there he goes. He has a fucking seizure as well.
What an idiot.
Oh, yeah. So there it is. People are having seizures from fucking getting the vaccine. The story is, it's from the American Conservative Movement. Video surfaces of a man in drive-through vaccine line having a seizure, and then the next man over collapses too.
I wonder what vaccine it was.
Well, let's see if we can find out. It was the Moderna vaccine, the first round of the Moderna vaccine.
Well, they've shut down the Moderna vaccine in Canada. I think it's all fucking Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson or something fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, well, despite all of this, Surfer, there's a really positive story to end on.
Is there?
Are you ready for this really positive story?
Yeah.
The story is Canada is now the best country in the world.
No!
According to a new world report list,
Base!
Canada is now the best country in the world. Can you believe it, guys? We've really struggled. We've really overcome.
There will be no King Cuck Canuck of the week, because in fact everyone else is the cuck, but us here in Canada.
That's right. You're all being cucked. You don't get to live here in Canada, the greatest country in the world. The chocolate ration has been increased from 5 grams to 3. We've always been at war with Eurasia, and we're now the best country in the world. It's really fucking wonderful. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Who said this?
The U.S. News and World Report's annual rankings. And it's because the country's quality of life and social purpose sub-rankings, according to the methodology, Canada is seen as a stable and safe society in which individuals can develop and prosper and is open, fair, and equitable. Canada reached this position for the first time since the rankings have existed. This year, Canada received an overall healthy rating of 100%. So there's not anything wrong with Canada. We are 100% according to the study. 100% base. There's not a thing wrong. 100% healthy country. Yeah. Canada, they argued,
What the fuck is a healthy rating? Like, what does that mean? What is an overall healthy rating? What does that mean? What metrics? What actual quantitative metrics is that based on?
Well, they said Canada reached the position as a result of the ease of doing business in the country. Yeah. It's been a tough year for...
Like, businesses aren't even open. What do they mean? Like, you're not allowed to do business right now.
Well,
am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but it's really easy to do business in the country when you can't. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a tough year for everyone, but life above the 49th parallel remains relatively pleasant, it says. This ranking made note of Canada's vibrant culture. The life of accomplished and eclectic Canadian writers and artists is long. Joni Mitchell, Avril Lavigne. This is fucking for real. Joni Mitchell, Avril Lavigne, and Drake.
I've never heard of Joni Mitchell
and Drake are just a few of the Canadians who have made an impression on modern music. We got Drake, nigga. What the fuck do you have? We have Drake, bitches. That's why we're the greatest country in the world.
Well, because Drake has some good songs.
We have Avril Lavigne.
But, like, who the fuck is Joni Mitchell? You know, like
it's not even Kim Mitchell. Anyway, Japan finished in second, Germany third, Switzerland was fourth. So that's it. That's it for this week in Cuckada.
Is that it?
Canada has triumphed. Buddy. We are the greatest country in the world. All of you are jealous. Press 1 if you want to live in Canada, if you're jealous. Press 2 if you don't want to live in Canada, you think it seems like a concentration camp.
Things are really great here in Ontario, Canada. You know, things are really looking up lately. Doug has introduced some new measures on behalf of the Solicitor General, you know, that are really making things look up, you know, and they give me a lot of optimism.
It's great. All right, King Cuck Canuck of the week, buddy, is...
That person you told me to remember, I forget who it was.
Nathan, whatever his name was, the Alberta Speaker of the House. You're going with him?
Nathan, big faggot retard that just cucked out when Jason Kenney went all fucking globalist.
Is it him for apologizing for that, or is it Doug for shutting down the province? Or is it Justo for apologizing to Italy?
No, it's definitely the fucking guy and the fucking that you told me to remember.
I think it's got to go to Nathan. I mean, he has apologized for just signing a letter that supported, you know...
I mean, Doug is actually the one in control, and it's all us citizens that are actually cucked to Doug, buddy.
No, buddy. Doug had to cuck out on the playground, buddy, because the people are in control.
It's a tough time. It's a tough fucking time.
The people are in control, buddy.
What's the outro song, buddy? You gonna get copyright stricken, buddy?
Nobody gives a fuck.
You ready for a fucking copyright strike, buddy? You ready?
Fuck it, buddy.
No, buddy. You gotta fucking put on what you said you're gonna put on.
What?
You know, buddy. Make it a surprise, buddy. Put it on.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Remember, buddy? You fucking said.
No.
Remember I said it's fucking, I'm feeling it for the intro song, and you said what you were going to put on for the intro song you were going to do for the outro?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So we got the best fucking...
It just takes a little bit of recollection sometimes.
It's time for the greatest fucking outro song we could fucking think of on tonight's, you know, fucking edition of the show. We're gonna play you out with some incredible fucking music.
I don't know what...
Jake Paul did it, folks. First round knockout. Less than 2 minutes there. Jake Paulers rise up.
Oh, fuck.
It's selling like a god church. It's so amazing. It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. It's like it's every day, bro.
Who the fuck is this guy?
No one knows. Alright, well, I think that's it for this week.
Juice, buddy.
It's every day, bro. It's fucking tough in Canada. Gotta send a donation there. I'm gonna starve to death. I'm wasting away to nothing The grocery store prices there. Better send a donation, guys.
Oh, the grocery store prices are fucking stupid.
It's every day, bro. I said it's every day, bro.